Hey everybody, this is Raw. I'm with Andre C. Hatchett. This is the Skills Make You Mills segment of the Paternity University YouTube channel. So Andre Hatchett is well known in the online community for being the mobile notary guy. All right, he knows everything there is to know about mobile notary services, and part of this segment is to talk about businesses that aren't the sexiest, most amazing techie, IPO businesses. They're service-based businesses that people need, So I want to talk to Andre about his journey in starting up his mobile notary business and where he is now. Andre, man, how you doing?
Doing great, Will. Thank you for the warm introduction. Happy to be here and ready to cook, baby.
Yeah, man, for sure. So like I was saying a little bit before the podcast, it's an amazing turn of events how I met Andre a few years ago. Now I'm interviewing him for my own. So it's just dope how that relationship developed organically over the years. So take us back, Dre. For the folks that don't know who you are, take us back to when you first kind of realized that business was something that was part of your escape plan.
Got you. So it's been part of my escape plan ever since I was probably 8 or 9 years old. It was just a matter of how and when. So I was one of those people who sold candy at school, shoveled snow, sold lemonade, just all that good stuff as a kid, just because I just always liked financial independence. But when I got into my early 20s, I was working, from 19 to about 27 or so. I was working with special needs children and coaching youth basketball. Very rewarding work, but it was a job, and I was trying to get out of the full-time workforce. So I stumbled upon becoming a mobile notary from mutual friends and my boy Ricky Salmon. I shouted him for a day. I saw him make like $300. Yeah, this is like 16 years ago, and I was in no job, $300 or more.
Yeah.
Didn't have to punch the clock, and he was at appointments for 5 minutes to as long as a long appointment was maybe 25 minutes that day. I said, "Yep, this is what I'm gonna do." So at that point, I was 24, 20. I think I was 24 at that time. I decided that, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, because I'm more on the practical side of life. What works, what's simple, and what can I implement with not a lot of money. And that was my ticket out of the full-time workforce.
Right. So you've been doing this for 16 years, right?
16 years, yeah.
16 years. That's a testament to consistency. Yeah, there you go. That's a testament to consistency, man, because a lot of people give up in the first 6 months or 3 months. So I haven't made $10,000 a month yet, and it's only been 3 months.
Oh boy.
16 years. Yeah. Tell me about the ups and the downs of this business. You've operated this business through a recession. Tell me about that. Yeah.
I've operated through a recession and a pandemic, and now we're in another recession. So yes, yeah. I've seen a lot. So when I first started, my primary focus was forming loan closings, which is the most popular service even now to this day, even to the point where a lot of people don't even know that they can offer other services. So it was booming. I mean, so imagine being in your early mid-20s, making $500, $300, $800 a day some days after working on weekends. Mm-hmm. Like, that was really cool. I mean, even now it would be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So it was going so well, we never thought it would end. So we were focusing on loan closings. Then when the recession hit, banks stopped lending. And when I say stop, they halted. I mean, I was asking my friends at the time, I was like, is your phone working? Is my phone working? Because I haven't been getting any calls. So I had left the full-time workforce at that point because things were so good and I didn't want a job. It wasn't going good. So then I went back to the full-time workforce, and I was dating a woman and she had a child. So, I just, not anyone else, but I just never been the broke guy with a woman and a kid. Like, that's just not really how I roll. Yeah. So I went back to the full-time workforce again. Same job I had before. I was getting $18.60 an hour. And I did that for about 6 to 9 more months. Business picked back up. Then I left again. And that was when I left for good 13 or so years ago. So yes, I have seen it all. And here's what I learned, Royal. Even in the notary industry, and maybe other businesses too, that you have to have multiple streams within the same business. You don't have to go outside the wheelhouse most times. Multiple streams in the same business. So I said, okay, we can offer apostille services, which when you're legalizing a document for a foreign country, mobile fingerprinting service, which a lot of people need fingerprints and general notarizations, wills, power of attorneys, affidavits, and all that stuff with the general public. So I said, oh, wow, there's so many things to do within the business. And I learned that from the recession. So be prepared, and be prepared before you need it. Be prepared to branch out before you need to branch out.
Yeah. Fact. So yeah, that's critically important, man. I learned that kind of just by either watching you or just in my own business. And like I said, this podcast is also sort of kind of going to be a comparison between the DNA testing world and the notary world, because there are some similarities, but you're in a niche, right? You're in the notary niche. And like I said, you focused at one point in time, your bread and butter was the loan closings. And then once that kind of poofed, went up in the air, you realize there's other things that you can do as a notary. So there's power in niching down, and there's further power in having specific niches within your niche, sub niches that you can operate. Just like the DNA testing world, it's the same thing. You got regular paternity testing, non-invasive prenatal, non-legal immigration, siblingship, avuncular, grandparentage, all types of paternity tests that you can do, relationship tests. Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
Right up, hey,
I didn't know there were so many.
different sources of income within that. So yeah, because just if you want to elaborate a little bit further, some people think that they have to start a trucking business and then do rental properties and then do churro and then do notary and then do have an IA job, which is nothing wrong with that either. And then do this,
nothing wrong
that. How does that mess people up, by doing a whole bunch of different things?
Yeah, and speaking of IA, if I ever got another job again, it would be
that.
I think that's a great career to get into if you want a 9-to-5. I think it's really good.
Facts.
Trucking, mobile homes, notary, appraisal, everything. So here's the deal. Everything that works. So you see paternity testing, oh, it works. Yeah, it works because you're doing it. See, notary, it works. The problem that I had, and a lot of entrepreneurs have, is we think we could do more than we can handle. We think we could handle more self-employed work than we want to. And we think we could do a bunch of things in different wheelhouses at the same time, even though the books tell us no, one thing, all the books, all of them, one thing at a time. So it hurts people because you can't master anything. And now with the online education space, which we're both in, becoming so popular, the people who make the most money, from what I've seen, you tell me from what you've seen too, are the people who've mastered something. Easier to recognize, easier to be referred to, easier to trust. So I'm all for diversification. I just had to get good at when to do it. And then I had to niche down on, okay, I'm going to start this, but I don't want to run it, right? Which was a whole other animal. So if I launch something new, I immediately need people to help me run it. Immediately, like not waiting. So too much at one time, more times than not, it messes people up and helps them earn less money opposed to earning more money. More streams is not always good. You have to know when to branch out. You have to know what you can handle, fam. Not everyone can mentally handle it.
Yeah.
Like I think flipping houses is real cool. I know the profit margins. I know how to get the deals. I know how to find contractors. At this point in my life, I don't want to do it. I'm going to miss out on that boat. I'll be the boring buy and hold guy for now. Things might change, but for now, I'm going to rock out with that. And it's also about what works your personality type. I don't want to think about people breaking in when, I put a brand new sheetrock in there and now they're still my pipes. Now, that's not really where I'm at mentally with things. So knowing what works and what doesn't work for your personality type, huge deal. Huge deal.
Yeah, big facts. So we've talked about this privately. And there was some controversy a couple of weeks ago on Twitter of
there's always controversy on Twitter.
As always
people are messy on Twitter, man.
The goal is to not be the main character, right? Yeah. So this woman, Black woman who started the honeypot company, right? I don't know the full details. All I know is that I think she expressed some form that maybe her company might be up for sale, or that she still has a majority share, but she has other investors, and therefore there may have been some change to her ingredients to her product, and it angered a lot of people.
Yeah.
Aside from that, because I just want to talk about exit exit strategies amongst Black service business owners.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've talked to you privately about one day you might sell your company. Is that something that you are still interested in doing one day, maybe selling your mobile notary service? Or is that if you want to keep this as a lifestyle cash business?
Oh, I was selling business. Yeah, absolutely. I was selling business. I was selling real estate. I was selling anything that makes sense.
Yeah, get that liquidity.
Yeah. I do have a will. So because I have 10 guys that are consistently profitable, and I don't want a messy death. I do not want a messy death.
Yeah.
So I have a will, and I have things structured that if I do have everything still intact, that it will be split up amongst my loved ones. Yeah. So here's the deal: people in our community, sometimes we like to overly control business owners, and we want them to do what we want them to do. So with the honeypot sister, oh, how could you do this to us? Like, fam, she's provided you a great service. It's time for her to maybe, I'm not sure they'll outcome to change around some things or do something different. Let her live. Now, we can be overly emotional sometimes to the point where we don't want to see people grow because we want them to be who they used to be. Oh, you change? Yeah, babe, you're supposed to change. So yeah, that's part of life. But nah, I'm open to selling a business. I thought about selling whenever this was a couple of years ago. I was actually really close to doing it. But what I realized is I just needed a break. I just needed a break and more staff. Sometimes it's worth keeping if you, and even better for you to keep if you have the right staff, but that comes with SOPs and leadership and structure. But sometimes we just need a break, fam.
Yeah.
And I would encourage people, if you're thinking about selling your business, take a couple of week break, read some books about how to structure your business properly. It might be worth keeping, but you might just need to do something else.
Yeah. Okay. That's definitely an alternate kind of strategy. Because sometimes, yeah, you might just need to take a break from it, you know?
Yeah, you might get bored.
Yeah, you might get bored or you might get kind of stressed out. I think that we don't have an issue with folks of other races or ethnicities selling their businesses for multiple X amount of figures, you know, and having these big liquidity events so that they can go and provide for their families or do whatever the hell they want to do, buy a bunch of property or buy an island somewhere or whatever they want to do. In our community, I don't know. I think it's almost as it's seen as selling out, literally, especially if you sell to an institution or an entity that is not Black controlled. I think recently, I forgot, Greenwood Bank bought another Black-owned company. So it's really rare to see a Black company buy another Black company. It's extremely
the
rare. Gathering spot. Yeah, correct. Yes. The brother, I think his name is Ryan or something like that. Greenwood Bank bought the Gathering Spot, and it's very rare to see that. And I would just say that I think that a lot of us, if you want to start a business, you have to determine at some point in time, all right, do I want this to be a lifestyle business that brings in cash flow, or do I eventually want to build this up using the systems and sell it? Quite frankly, I want to eventually sell my paternity testing business at some point in time.
Yeah,
it's gonna
and that's cool. Yeah, and I do think, Royal, that we should try at least try to keep it to sell somebody in our community before we take it to the public market. I don't think we should be held to it or criticized if we don't, but I do believe we should try to give our people first dibs on it if we do so.
That makes sense. I agree. You are a master networker. You know, everywhere you go, everywhere, you know, your name, you know, your face card is clean, you know, at least from what I've seen and what I've experienced. What do you think do you think that networking has helped you build your business and your brand? And what are your tips for people who might be a little timid when it comes to networking?
Yes, it definitely has. It definitely has. One of the keys to networking is, well, one, you got to do it. To sell and to grow, you need to meet new people. To sell and to grow, you need to meet new people. There's no other way around it. And the thing that makes it easy to network, I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm not too serious. I'm not too playful. I'm just pretty cool. I'm a pretty cool dude. What you want to do is you want to keep, this is something that I learned from my father, you want to keep your integrity good at all times. Yeah. And there's going to come opportunities or things that you might be able to cut this corner, but it might be a little shaky. Don't do it. Don't do it. You want to keep your integrity clean at all times. And if you mess up, you want to apologize. One of the best ways to network is to be an honest, straight shooter person. You might not be the richest person in the world. It might take longer to get there. But once you're known as a solid dude or lady and a solid businessman or woman, doors become easier for you to get into. And then you can bring your friends along with you. So I take pride in, as you said, keeping a clean face card, because if my credit gets dinged, then I can't go to Capital One to borrow 10 grand. And if I need it, that's one thing. But I can holler at Royal, holler at Jalen from BWR, holler at Anthony Harzog. If my credibility gets messed up with y'all and I can't get 10 grand, that's really bad. For me, that's way worse.
Yeah.
So integrity opens up doors. It's like passive income. Being a great business person is like passive income, because people will vouch for you when you're not even there. And when you go somewhere, everyone knows each other. It's just easier for you to get the job done. New people brings you new money. New people brings you new money. So leave the house. leave the internet is good, fam.
Yeah.
Get on a plane, get on a bus. I mean, we first met in Atlanta in the Grill Village. Then a month or so later, I saw you in DC, I believe, at the EYL event.
EYL conference, yeah.
Then we became cool online, and then we were hanging out last year at the BWR, at Boston Brunch thing. We met in person, right? And when we met in person, the cooler we got. In-person meetings gives you a different kind of bond with somebody. So got off the internet, meet people online, but then meet up in person. It's just a whole different effect.
Facts. That BWR conference, and I think they're holding another one this year. I mean,
yeah, we're gonna do it.
That, and I've said this on another podcast before I was being interviewed. I believe by somebody you introduced to me at the BWR.
Yeah, probably.
I'm way out in El Paso, Texas, man. Like desert, man. It's like 102 degrees, like right now. You know what I'm saying? And I started, my paternity testing company. I'm out there. Only people I can talk to really pretty much was my mom and my wife, right? And then, you know what I'm saying? Cool, got it. Great. They're amazing support system. My mom helped me, my wife helped me. And then I just tweet. But it wasn't until I was able to go to that BWR conference in Dallas. That's where I met some dope people. And I'm telling you, man, like I in July, I met up with you again. Saw quite a few other people, shared some ideas. I mean, saw a live podcast, Millionaire Mindsets, your podcast, BWR podcast. And man, like September, like just something just lit a fire in me, man. Like just being around other dope people. I can't believe I forgot this brother's name. The brother who has the Turo business. No, he has the Turo and the clean.
Brian?
Huh?
Brian from Chicago? No,
it wasn't.
Marlon.
Yeah.
Marlon,
and Anthony Hartsock. Met all of them, right?
Yeah.
And some energy just happened where I'm like, yo, there's other young Black folk that are doing their thing, and I can do it too. I'm not just in my own little silo out here, way out in the desert or wherever, you as the listener or the viewer are. Yeah, go to these conferences if you can. Save up. Freaking, like you said, take a train, take a plane, ride a bike, walk, get a Flintstone car, something. Get over there and meet some dope people that you can be around and soak up some energy. Because in September, my business took off. And
it's no coincidence.
I mean, hell, even when I was there, this is before I even made Fraternity University. I'm there. I think you're telling me, hey man, you should go ahead and set up a course. A couple other folks, wait, you do a what? You set up a course for that. I was like, man, I think imposter syndrome. I don't think I should do it yet. And then it happened, and I had a great support system. So, speaking of courses, tell us about your course that helps people start their own mobile notary companies.
Yeah. So shout out to you, man. Shout out for you for doing the damn thing. That was a life-changing weekend for a lot of people, man. That was a dope ass weekend.
Yeah.
My course. So 2015, I was in a car and I had the idea for the course. I did a teach. I didn't know how I would do it or structure it at the time. But 2015, I was in a car accident. I was ready to buy a taxi cab in New York City. I couldn't really walk that well. So I had to, because I couldn't move. So I had to use my brain more. And I put it together, and it was a huge hit. I made $20,000 at the launch. Huge hit. And even better than that, people gave me great, wonderful, very heartwarming reviews, because at my heart, I'm a teacher. I just got a sale right now. All right, shout out to a sale just came in from the course.
There you go.
I'm actually, at my heart, I'm a teacher, right? So I'm that big brother, big homie energy guy. Like that's kind of who I am.
Yeah.
So I started teaching, and it went really, really well. And here we are, 2022. Sales keep on coming in. So I literally just packaged what I knew and put it on PDFs and PowerPoints with help of some friends. Got on GoToWebinar at the time and just started teaching it, structured it into a 4 or 5 week course. And I said, man, I could do this. This is my lane. And here we are all these years later, total of 20, between free webinars and paid stuff, over 20,000 people had to get into the notary business. And humbly, I have people every day, Royal, every day hit me up and say that something that they learned from our program has helped change their life. Whether they left the full-time workforce, they do this part-time, they have their own online academy now, they have their own books. It's just become like this life force, and it's helped freed a lot of our people. So it's, I guess I call it my life's work. I'm very proud of it, and because I have a learning disability, I stutter. It took me 14 years to go through college. So for me to become an authority figure and to teach and to do all these things publicly, where 10 or so years ago, I would have been like, man, I don't know if I could do this stuff. Even talking to you right now is a big deal. So you never know who you can help. Here's why I'm so big on going for stuff, because you never know who you can help on the other side. You never know who you can get through to on the other side. So if it's on your heart, if it makes sense, man, go for it, because income is great. And I'm a money guy. Let's not get it twisted, but impact is lifelong, man. It's a lifelong, very fulfilling feeling.
Man, I got a comment on that, 2 comments and a question. Number one, your story is almost similar to Eric Thomas's story. If you think about it, I did not know that it took you 14 years. It took Eric Thomas 12 years. I do believe, I don't know if he has a learning disability. I don't know. But it took him a longer time. And then he now has this, I mean, dude is loaded now. He has a multi-million-dollar business impacting lives all over the world, and is teaching and changing lives. So that's, the comment on that. The other thing is, man, like I agree. I am building Paternity University, and yes, the income is nice. Yes, I love it when I get a course sale. It's great. But I personally agree. I love it when somebody contacts me and hits me up in either the Twitter DMs or my Slack channel. Is like, yo, man, like you helped me make $7,000 this month, and like I'm happy. Like I get to save some more money or pay off some debt. Or I had a dude, the first dude I actually ever told before I even created the course. I taught him how to start a paternity testing company just in Twitter DMs. Like before I even thought, he was like, yo, how do you do that? Like, and I just walked him through it. And a few weeks ago, he hit me up just the same way I did you. He was like, yo, man, when's your birthday? And I was like, January 6th. He was like, I'm gonna send you something for your birthday, bro.
Wow.
Like you literally, like you
That's
have helped.
deep.
You have really helped, man. Like for real. I'm like, bro, like, cool. My question is on that, and you kind of answered my question, but I want to reiterate it for the viewers out there. Did you wait until you had the perfect course logo and the perfect video camera, webcam for your course, and the perfect script and all this other stuff to go ahead and start your course? Or did you kind of just, like you said, you went for it?
It was a 4-week course. We created the PDFs the same day of each live class. I didn't know what to do. All I knew was that I knew the business and I had the information. I never created a PowerPoint before or PDF. I never did any of that stuff. I sat down with some friends and we put it together, and they just helped me get the information out of my brain onto slides. I didn't have a camera. I didn't even have a camera. It was the camera that came in with the HP laptop. I definitely didn't have a fancy ass microphone. I don't even think I had headphones. No,
Yeah.
I had the information and we put it on the slides and we got busy, fam. That was it. That was
Just
it.
start. So to all those out there who have some valuable information that you believe you can bring to the market, just start. I'm not gonna lie, like at one, I'm a starter too, right? Same thing with the course. I tweeted something one day, just randomly tweeted something. This is after the BWR conference. Hey guys, did you know that you can make X amount of money doing DNA collections? And
I remember
all these people
I remember it.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like people want this. And I had that imposter syndrome. I had that doubt, that self-confidence, that doubt that I had at first, like, oh man, I want to wait until I'm making $20,000-$30,000 a month from my business first before I
remember that too.
Yeah, I was like, I want to wait. Apparently I realized, like you said, there's a demand for the information. And then you also had to think with your brain, because you couldn't go out to appointments. And same thing, man. I was like, damn, people want this? Okay, I'll write an ebook. Now, granted, Dre, I was an English major in college. So all I did was write. And I've written and sold an ebook before. I've written a horror fiction book and hired actors to do the audio voices and sold that. I've done it. Yeah, I'm a writer at heart. I wrote the ebook in like a day, put it out, made $1,800. And it was crazy. And then, just kind of kept going from there with the course. Just like you said, at first I was like, oh man, I should hire some actors to show how to do a swab. I was like, man, just put the damn webcam on yourself and just do it and just put it out. Just get the information out.
Put it out,
man. Like,
put it out. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Especially in this time, people need access to businesses that have a low startup cost. People need it because we're in a recession. So all you need to do, in my viewpoint, is to be honest about what you've done with the business. If you sold it, if you're a realtor that sells 5 houses a year, your course or your ebook, how to sell 5 houses a year as a realtor.
Yep.
Not how to be 50 because you haven't sold 50. Be honest about where you're at, because there's somebody who's beneath you. There's someone who hasn't done anything yet. So you being here, there's people who are here. That's who your audience is. Just be honest. Yeah. Just be honest, be consistent, and they'll find you.
Your floor is their aspirational ceiling, or where they want to get to at some point in time.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's like, like at the time when I made the course, I wasn't booming like that, like booming, but I knew how to do it. I knew how to operate it and do everything, and there was nowhere else on the planet where you can get that information. Nowhere. Like,
and you had sales,
and I had sales.
Clients,
and
right?
I got,
some people had none.
Some of my students are damn near my peers. Like, they crushing it in their areas because they've taken things. They've taken things they've learned from other businesses that they started or whatever, and they're applying it to their business. I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. I'm still doing my thing, obviously, but they're doing pretty well for themselves, the ones that apply. So that's
what it's about.
Yeah, man. So Dre, man, wrapping up, man, what advice do you have? Actually, you just tweeted right before we started, top service businesses to start during the recession in 2022. You want to comment? Was that going to be a thread? Were you kind of building that, or were you letting other people comment?
I'll let other people comment, and I'll comment afterwards. But we'll comment on that. So this is so for someone who's been through a recession, the last recession, as an adult, as a business owner, if you have a job and you don't have a lot of money saved, I would not quit right now. I would not quit now. Don't let the business people who said, "Oh, jobs are whack, force you out of work." No, you need to do what works best for you. And also, let's say that you don't want to get a job. I would do something needed. Mobile notary is recession proof, pandemic proof, all that proof. People are still going to have kids and not know who the baby daddy is. Paternity testing. And there's other things to look into, but I would really look into things that are if you need money, now's the time to get into something needed. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how bad it's going to get. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it was scary before. It was scary. So don't let ego get in the way. If you got to get a job, get a job. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a job. Do what you got to do, but don't be overconfident and don't overspend. I think this should be like a fallback time of life and structure and plan for the worst. And if you need money, do needed stuff, man. That's it.
And look, and stack up. And if you know, if you're married, this is for myself too. If you're married and you got 2 incomes, that is a blessing.
Whew.
That is a
yes.
Look,
Appreciate that.
My wife, she got back to work recently. She's getting her first check on Friday, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Congrats.
Because like I said, I am able to provide on my income just from my job. I can do that. I can for both of us. But Lord, it's like tough. I said, the inflation is crazy. I cannot imagine if we had 2-3 kids. It'd be rough.
Even chips cost more money, fam. I was like, Ruffles cost this price now? I've never. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not an ego time. Like, this is okay, let's hunker down. Let's structure, get a new budget. Oh, yeah. And if anyone is falling behind on their bills or we're going through job loss, call your credit card and your mortgage company ahead of time. Ask for a deferment or forbearance that would not affect your credit. Don't let ego mess you up. This might get crazy out here, but call them ahead of time, and they'll probably give you like a 2 or 3 month no payment thing. But don't wait till things get bad. And oftentimes, this is what I've done before. This is what I should have done before too when I was going through stuff. It's like ego set in, and we let pride set in. Call them, say, I can't pay. Can you help me out with some kind of income deferment thing? And they will.
Yeah, big. No, that's excellent advice, man. Truly. So Dre, where can we find you, man? You know, go ahead and drop all your handles and see where the people can find you.
Yes, check me out on Twitter, Andre C. Hatchett, Instagram, same thing. And the notary fund. And if you want to get into notary business, notaryfundamentals.com, notaryfundamentals.com, baby.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you for coming on, man. Looking forward to the next time we have an in-person conversation, whenever that may be.
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, facts, man. And I appreciate you for coming on once again, man.
Thank you, brother. Good seeing you, man.
Everybody listening out there, hey, if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you are interested yourself in starting a paternity testing business, low cost startup, essentially recession proof, because like what Dre said, people are going to be in these situations no matter the economy. Go to paternityuniversity.com. That'll be in the show notes as well, where you can learn how to start your own paternity testing company no matter where you are. Thank you very much. Until the next time, peace.